Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So Hughie Fury defeats Christian Hammer by a 5th round retirement. Now, I have to say this fight for what it was actually somewhat entertaining. Usually Hughie Fury is in stinkfests, to be honest. His style really isn't all that appealing to me, but to be fair to him, he tried to be a bit more aggressive in this fight and take the initiative, and to be fair to Hughie Fury, he actually did that in his last fight as well, against Marius Vac. So it looks like Hughie Fury is trying to be a bit more aggressive, a bit more active with his right hand, and it's certainly making his fights a lot more watchable. Nevertheless, this fight started out in round 1, Hughie Fury feinting the jab, prodding and probing. He landed a couple of good straight right hands to the head on Christian Hammer, and also a couple of good looping right hands to the body. Christian Hammer was coming forwards. He was really only looking for the overhand right. Hammer didn't really have much success in the first round, and the same thing really followed in the second round, but Hughie Fury was a bit more active with his right hand, and he was bringing the right uppercut into play as well, which was a good punch for him in this fight because Christian Hammer comes forwards and he leans his head over his front foot, so he's open for the uppercut, and Hughie Fury was finding that shot. In round 2 though, Christian Hammer, he landed a couple of good overhand rights, but nothing too special. Round 2, another Hughie Fury round. Round 3 was a bit more competitive. Hammer tried to be a bit more aggressive, a bit more roughhouse. I believe there was a head clash in the 3rd round and it left a slight cut under Hughie Fury's left eye. But again, Hughie Fury was doing the majority of the work. Christian Hammer's work was messy, a bit sloppy, to be honest. He landed some shots in the clinch, but nothing really clean. Hughie was dictating the range and keeping Christian Hammer at arm's length for the most part. But in round 4, Christian Hammer actually landed a couple of good overhand rights bang on the chin. Hughie Fury took those shots quite well, and he responded well also by taking the play away from Christian Hammer, once again keeping it from range behind the jab and walking Christian Hammer onto straight right hands and uppercuts. And also throughout the rounds, Hughie Fury was actually trying to go to the body as well with his right hand. Now, it wasn't with the most crisp technique, but at least he was trying to go to the body. And round 5 actually was heating up. Well, it was a really good round. Hammer started the round really well. He managed to get his distance a bit better. He kind of hung around at mid-range and threw the overhand right, and it connected a few times on Hughie Fury. That basically made Hughie Fury exchange with Christian Hammer, and Hughie Fury was really putting it on Christian Hammer in the 5th round. He was landing good combinations, 1-2-1s, good body shots as well, uppercuts. He was really kind of pushing Hammer back and landing good shots, right hand, left hook, etc. And round 5 was a really fun round. It started well for Christian Hammer, but Hughie Fury again took the play away and regained control, and he started to land some good shots. But at the end of round 5, Christian Hammer pulled out in the fight between rounds 5 and round 6 in his corner, and he cited a bicep injury. And I'm not gonna say Christian Hammer is faking it, because usually he's a really tough guy, so he never really got badly buzzed in this fight. It wasn't like he was getting beat up for 5 rounds. Yeah, round 5 wasn't a great round, but he wasn't getting beat up, he wasn't getting hurt, so I do think the bicep injury was legit. And ultimately it's a shame that the fight ended that way, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, 5 good rounds for Hughie Fury. Christian Hammer is a capable fringe level European type fighter, a good gatekeeper, and yeah, Hughie Fury needed the rounds, and onwards and upwards for Hughie Fury. I certainly enjoy watching him more now in his last couple of fights where he's tried to be more aggressive. Still got a lot of improvements. The technique on his right hand still needs to be better. It needs to be tightened up, but it's definitely got better since a couple of years ago, but he still needs to tighten that up. And it was what it was, really. In Hughie Fury's next fight, I wouldn't mind seeing him fight someone like Maybe someone like Martin Bakole. If Bakole doesn't fight Filip Hrgovic, I think that could be a good fight for him. That's the sort of level I would want Hughie Fury to fight at next. He's had a couple of fights against Marius Vac and Christian Hammer, who are durable veterans. He's got some rounds in. Now I think he needs to fight somebody who comes in with ambition. And yeah, who's at a similar level basically. So interesting fight. Shame it ended the way it did. Just as we was going to get an entertaining Hughie Fury fight, the guy pulls out injured. Typical. But yeah, it was what it was. Share your thoughts below. It's Beanie Guy Delboy. Peace.